The presenting sponsor of Upmarket is Fotello, the best AI editing platform. Snap, upload, and deliver at fotello.co. Coming to you from the Upmarket studio in beautiful San Buenaventura, California. This is Upmarket, a podcast about the business of real estate photography and media. My name is Reed Fish. I'm the CEO and a co-founder of Upmarket Media. And yeah, Mark Corcoran, he's out doing something. But don't worry, we got Molly Peart here producing off mic, off camera today because we are kind of remotely recording because we got a mastermind episode coming up. But I'll introduce everyone, the familiar group, in just a moment. But I do want to take just a sec to, of course, shout out iGuide, who we work with iGuide in conjunction to help as special sponsors of these mastermind episodes. So we could not do this without iGuide. We love their product. We love iGuide. So please check them out at goiguide.com. Thank you, iGuide. And of course, our mastermind group is here. Alex Coombs of Northern Spruce Media. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
Hello. Jennifer Lueck of what? Jennifer Lueck, whatever.
Jen Lueck Photo.
Jen Lueck Photo. Yeah. In Prescott, Arizona. And then Kelly Clark of Local Flavor Films. Kelly, hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. So I think we're just now, this is our first mastermind of 2026. So I just want to do just a few minutes here. Let's check in. How did 2025 go? Were you up over 2024? You know, how would you kind of sum up pretty quickly how business was for you in 2025, So whoever wants to take that first.
I'll go if y'all don't want to go.
Oh, you go, Kelly. You go.
Okay. Sorry. Well, 2025 was awesome for us. We went all in on video. We doubled our prices. We lost very few clients. So it was a big win for us. We went heavy on the VAs. We entrusted them with a lot of the things that we wanted to. We learned a lot in that process. So 2025 was awesome for us. We did crack our foundation a little bit. That's a big goal for 2026 is kind of going back to the foundation, the team, the SOPs, all that stuff. So it was a huge growth year for us, but we kind of need to dial it back a little bit, redo some training with the team, just get back to our foundation a little bit so that we can grow more this year.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that. I think, we're going to talk a lot about what our goals are and how we're going to approach that for the new year. But Jen, how did it go for you? And you kind of don't have much of 2024 to compare it to, right? Because I know your business is still just a couple years old.
So we started in May of 2024. So I have from May to the beginning of 2025, and then obviously all of 2025. Number-wise, we did really, really well. We increased our client base by like 62%. So wow. Huge jump for us there. And then our total number of properties went up 83%. So that was fantastic. So it tells me people are sticking around, which is good. So on the whole, even though we didn't have a full year, and I'm sure that skews our percentages a bit, things went very, very well. Really good. So I'm excited for this year. We've got some really cool goals we can talk about later and some things we're implementing to hopefully keep us on track and a little bit more organized.
Okay. Alex, I know you're going to blow us all away, but yeah, how was 2025 for Northern Spruce?
2025 was really good, mainly because we landed 2 mega teams. And with that, it just scaled our numbers much larger than expected. But we also scaled in the events department and the content creation department. So overall, it was just last year was just a lot of scaling. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, which is good.
It's good.
It's the whole point, right? So for Upmarket, we were kind of flat, actually. We were actually down a little bit from what we did in 2024. Our profit was actually up, but which is great, but then our actual numbers were just slightly down. And I think it was a function of 2 things. The market was just tough here. And there was, I think the number of houses coming up was just not as many as we've seen in the past. And also, we had some client churn. We lost a few clients, and like one of our bigger clients we lost. But then we gained, but our client acquisition was still robust. And in fact, like it felt like when we lost that big client, we gained another client who's actually even bigger. And so it felt like, oh, we should have been up, but I think we were down like, 4% or something, 5%. It's nothing crazy, but enough where you're like, oh, I was a little surprised at that. And I think, our number of shoots was, our number of shoots was also down, but then I think our per, our whatever that's called, our per shoot spend was up because with houses sitting on the market longer, we've seen realtors, kind of do a little bit more marketing for it. So, so I think for us, there's a clear path to what we want to do in 2026, which is actually have growth again. And I think, kind of keep what we've been doing in terms of like, I guess I don't usually come into it, and it's probably a mistake coming into it with the really set numbers of what I want to do for this year. And maybe I should really, sit down and think about that. But I think, we want to hit, and I don't want to talk specific numbers because it's so different for every region. It just it's useless. But I definitely, if we can increase like 15% this year, I think that's a reasonable goal that I want to hit, and that'll put us at some nice round numbers that we want to hit. And then keeping I want to continue, obviously, to grow our client base. And I think this year we've been presented with an opportunity to finally maybe make some inroads in this one region that we've been trying for years to break into up in Conejo Valley, where we are here. So those are kind of the two of the big growth areas. And then the other growth areas, I really want us to be doing more like social media content for realtors that's not listing based. And that is, and then also expand that into just general small business social media content creation. So yeah, well, Jenn, you teased it earlier. You said you had some exciting goals for 2026.
Yeah. So basically I have one full-time person and the other person's been pretty minimally part-time, and she is looking at completely pivoting and being available all days, which would be huge for us.
So she's not been working because she's not available, not because you don't have to work for her?
Probably a combination. I mean, in the slower season, I think even if she was available Monday through Friday, she wouldn't have had a full schedule. But in the summer months, 100% we needed her. And she was still 3 days a week at her other job. So the longer she's doing this, the more she's doing it, the more she loves it, the more she wants to pivot into it. And I think going into our busy season, we'll have enough work for her, especially because I'd like to pull back a little bit and not be shooting quite as often. So I'm really, really excited about the opportunity to get her in the field more. And I think that will also help our growth, just because we're not held back simply because our schedules are full.
And then are you still thinking about, is one of your goals expanding your territory or?
Yes. I do really, really want to do that. Part of me wants to just jump in and do it before I think I'm actually ready. If we don't do it this year, I definitely want to do it next year. I'm a little bit torn between waiting and making sure that everybody here is full-time and really running smoothly. Because then if I can pull back a little bit, I'll have my time to invest in kind of finding somebody and growing the territory I want to move into. I just don't know if it's the right time or
it's like having a kid. It's never the right time.
Yeah. It's always scary and a lot of work.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's an area that I started in, so I'm familiar with it. And I think that there is an opportunity, but I've been out of that area now for years. So it would be a little bit of starting over and doing a little bit of homework over there. And right now, with as much as I'm in the field, I don't have the time to do that. I just simply don't.
I see a very obvious solution here. I don't know if anyone else sees it. Get out of the field, Jenn.
It's so hard. I'm struggling with it so much. That's actually, a really difficult point because a lot of these agents followed me. I mean, they came with me. They've been my agents for years, my agents. And they call, they put in their orders, they want Jenn. So I'm really struggling with, a good deal of them are getting more comfortable with it, but there's some that just will not give it up.
They have to though.
Man, I know.
Exactly.
They don't have a choice. It's either they stick with your company because it's still you, or they use someone else, and regardless, it's not you.
Well, exactly.
So it's like,
that's what we always say. We still 5 years in are like, Mark, oh, I need Mark for this. And it's like, well, what are they going to do ultimately if Mark can't do it? They can have one of our photographers who's trained by Mark and has the same exact style as Mark, or they can go to someone else who's also not Mark, but has not been trained by Mark and has a different style than Mark. So those are the two options. So, and if you're really that devoted to Mark, then tough shit. You got to go somewhere else.
Well, we actually took your advice and we got open phone so that I can get these people to stop calling me. Quo, yeah.
Yes.
So we've got that up and going, and that has been huge. So basically, whenever I'm getting an inquiry that I don't think really needs my attention, she's either handling it or I'm directing them to her. So far, even when people text me, I just screenshot it and send it to her and tell her to deal with it. And that's been great. I feel like the more that they're not always just coming to me for all the things, the more they will be comfortable using my team. At least that's my hope.
Yeah. Well, wait, but so they're texting your photographer directly, or your photographer's answering those, or your admin? Because you have an admin, right?
We have an admin, and the way we've been doing it, which worked fine when it was just me and a little bit of Michelle, was they would just text us directly. And obviously that I don't want that to be the case. And it doesn't allow you to really have any separation from work and business. While I do, kind of enjoy talking to my agents, I don't mind it. I'm pretty social that way. Sure. The problem with growth is that the amount of calls coming in is now a lot bigger. When it used to be a couple, it was fine. But when you've got more clients, that doubles and then that doubles. And I can't just be answering my phone all day, especially I can't get a file to unzip. It's just not a good use of my time.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
So, and she's, my admin is amazing at that. Everybody that's talked to her has loved her. She's really, really efficient. She's great. I mean, you got a chance to meet her at PRME. So she's wonderful, all that kind of thing. So I think the more I can kind of pull myself back a little bit, I do still want to be in the field. I do still enjoy shooting. I don't want to give that up. I just know there needs to be more balance if I want to grow in the way I want to.
Well, no, for sure. I mean, I think that's the biggest key to unlocking any real growth. If you are going to try to scale, I mean, is like, you just got to stop doing all of that stuff, admin and shooting and and again, it goes back to, I know this is a discussion I've had with you for a couple of years since you started your business, was like, hey, I really enjoy shooting. And so, for me, and I think I'm going to speak for Alex, who's like, oh, we don't want to shoot. Like, the last thing we ever want to do is shoot at another house.
Oh, no, it's my happy place. I love being behind the lens.
Well, then that's, then I think there is merit to you still doing that. But at the same time, if you need, sorry, you don't need to do anything, but you may want to try to align what you're doing in your business with the goals that you're stating, right? And so it goes back to just what you're saying. Oh, I want to move into this other territory, but I can't because I'm shooting too much. So you're obviously, you already said, oh, I have to give some of that up, but it probably is important for you to kind of still have, one day a week where you shoot. And then too, when you have those clients who are like, oh, I can only be Jenn. Well, you say, well, I only shoot on Fridays. So is that the day you want to shoot? And if not, then it can be one of my other amazing shooters that I've trained.
Yeah. Right. I think I like to be more particular about what I'm shooting too.
Yeah. Right.
That's the biggest thing is I'd really like to be able to focus more in on the kinds of shoots that I want to do. So if I'm going to be in the field, I want it to be a good use of my time. Not saying that a smaller shoot isn't a good use of my time, but I know that
it's not. Those
can be handled by my girls just fine.
It's not, I'm going to push back. It's not a good use of your time to shoot a little dinky, tract house, because your staff is going to do it just as well as you can do. And then that's an hour or whatever that, plus drive time that you weren't working on your business, and every time you take a call for unzip a file or anything like that, it's just taking away from your main goals. I mean, it's just dragging you.
So let me ask you this, if I can, because you both have been in this position. When you start to pull back from being so involved, how do you feel like you keep the connection to your agents? Do you feel like they've lost that personal part of things with you. I don't know exactly how to.
Yeah. How do you keep the
that,
personal connection when you don't see them all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alex?
And you're not talking with them as directly. How are you keeping that? Because those relationships are so important. I think, especially as we move into a world of AI, what are you doing to facilitate those relationships and those bonds to keep them from just going somewhere else?
I mean, client care is the biggest part of running a business. You always want to make sure your clients are happy. So, I mean, like when I started pulling out, people were concerned for sure. Same reasons, like, oh, it's not Alex, it's not going to be good. And then they slowly trust that Alex trained and it is still really good. But it's not Jenn, right? It's not Jenn personality, but people adjust and start loving your team's personality because you hire people like you. You don't hire assholes or people who don't treat other people with kindness. You hire people that act like you. But I like to give you some tips. Like I would honestly say it's just doing check-ins, you know, when they hit something, like a milestone, check and say, hey, you just did 10 shoots. Amazing. So excited. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Like call them. Send them emails, check in. And I also just like, I'll watch people's stuff on Instagram. If it's like a house listed, I'll be like, oh my God, this looks so good. And people love that. Like it's those small things too that really stand out, but make yourself available for them if they want to even like just chat and just check in. Like you're going to have your top 5 that are your check-in people.
Yeah, and I've been trying invite them out to lunch. I mean, that's a good one. Just have a client lunch, and they're going to feel special. You just took them out to lunch, you know.
So one of the things I'm doing actually this Friday is I'm going to a broker open for one of the people that we work with. So I'm thinking, you know, if I can even just pop into a couple broker opens, maybe that will make them feel appreciated, taken care of.
100%. And then you see all the other agents as they're coming in toward the houses. I mean, no, it's that's like for us, whenever we go to the broker opens, it's like so to the caravans, it's like so good because, you know, your client feels special. And then you see all your other clients coming through the house and you get to talk to them and you can say, oh yeah, this house was so amazing to shoot. Oh my God. You know, it's just like, I think to me, the key is like, as long as you just don't disappear completely, as long as you like people still see you on Instagram, you still can have some of these reach outs where you are, you know, communicating with them directly. It's going to be fine. And they'll get used to it. I mean, you haven't always known these people. There was life before they knew Jenn and there's life after they know Jenn. I mean, right. I think you just have to trust that it'll be fine. And that because you have developed this relationship with people, and I'm sure, you know, my guess is that as people have seen your business grow so phenomenally over the last 2 years, they're all like pulling for you. They're all proud of you.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Really
and so,
cool
and they are feeling like they've played a part in that. And so if there's ever any pushback, you can say, oh my goodness, business has been going so great and I have this opportunity to grow. I just need to be putting a lot of my focus here. I still want to make sure I can take care of you. I can still shoot for you occasionally, but you know, bring them in and say, it's because of clients like you that I've been able to actually take this next step in my journey, you know, where they can feel like ownership over the success of your business. Then I think that gives them a rooting interest for, oh, Jenn. And and you just also have that personality where you're so sweet and likable that I just don't think people are going to begrudge you focusing on a different aspect of your business.
Well, let's give it a go. I pulled back 1 day a week. That's my baby step. It's like, now I'm only in the field 4 days. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, Mark, after 5 years, just, 4 or 5 months ago, pulled back to 3 days a week, and he was doing 5 days a week. So, it's like, you're still ahead of the game. And Kelly, did you ever shoot, or was it Brian shooting? Or
I did not,
okay.
I did want to share a quick story about getting Brian out of the field, because that's a huge thing for this year. Hopefully to give Jenn a little bit of what we had to do to make that happen. We literally had to give away his camera kit to our lead photographer so that I would not book him. It was me. I was the problem. But it was like, even a week after we were and our lead photographer was thrilled to have the kit. And he's like, I'm just going to give it to her. I can't be out in the field anymore. Like, we have to draw the line in the sand. And I kept but this VIP client, they need you. And he kept going back into the field, and we could not get out of that cycle. And even a week after we gave it away, I was like, Lisa called, you have to go on this shoot. And he goes, I don't have a fucking camera. And I was like, right, you don't. That's right. And it literally took like that for me personally to not book him, because I just have such a pull. We've been doing this 10 years. Our clients are our friends. I'm such a people pleaser. I wanted them to just have that experience, but we are doing the same thing that you're doing. Go to broker opens, touch base with them, like make sure that they know you're still around and you are still very much running the company, but you are just not going to be. And on the big shoots, one of us will still show up, and just not be shooting, but just there to kind of manage the relationship. But it's huge. We have struggled very much with that. And it literally took giving his camera away for me to not book him in the field. It's just, it's so hard.
That's a really good idea, in kind of having somebody else there and stepping in just a little bit so that you're still there, at least for the first few, so they feel like your oversight is there. I do like that idea a lot.
Yeah,
because
and you can just continue to do that. I did that literally yesterday. I was driving from Ojai down here to the studio in Ventura, like half-hour drive, and I knew one of our staff was shooting along the route, and I just stopped in and said hi, and just schmoozed the client for a minute, and it was great. And then I left. And then, and then too, like just not having that camera. I mean, even now, I, for a long time didn't have a camera, but because I've had to pick up a shoot here and there on occasion, I have a camera. And now guess what Chelsea just slacked me. Hey, Reed, there was a shot that the hot tub cover wasn't off. Can you swing by? It's in Ojai. Can you swing by that house and get another shot? It's like, God damn it. So it's only 2 photos I have to go take, but it's I still have to do it because I have a camera. But now, of course, I have the iPhone with me at all times, and so in a pinch, we just use those. So I'm never gonna be free of taking that odd photo. If anyone knows me, everyone knows that I'm a sucker for a pretty good workflow. And our workflow for delivering photos and editing photos has been a dream come true since we started using Fotello. So Fotello is an AI photo editing service that is so wonderful because our workflow has been so compressed. It's like the photos take minutes to be edited instead of hours and hours and hours. And it's fully customizable. And it's so cost efficient as well. And not only is it cost efficient because you don't have to have a subscription, you can actually do pay as you go. Since we started using Fotello, our clients have not noticed a difference other than to say, oh, these photos look amazing. So kudos to our photographers and kudos to Fotello. And they also have Fotello Studio as a free offering to you. If you pay for editing, you also get booking and delivery options and property websites and all sorts of other stuff to help you with your business, but you only pay for editing. And they also, of course, have their pay as you go option. Use the link in our bio to go to fotello.co and sign up and check it out today. You will not be sorry you did. People, I got to tell you something. I don't really shoot, but I did shoot the other day and I shot an iGuide. First one I ever did, actually. We've been using iGuide for a while now, but I've been, doing my high-level CEO stuff and haven't been out there on the ground shooting. But I did the other day, and I did iGuide. It was my first one, and boy, was I impressed. Man, that thing is fast. It's like I've been used to some other 3D systems that shall not be named, and that takes a long time. And the iGuide system is so quick, so easy, so intuitive. I am completely sold. And not only that, but the outputs at the end are phenomenal, as good or better than any other 3D tour offering. So I hope you go to goiguide.com to check them out. The workflow efficiency, I love talking about that stuff, is so great because it reduces our time on site and makes a deliverable that our clients love, and it can be shown anywhere on the internet, no restrictions, unlike some other ones that we know about. So please go to goiguide.com to check out iGuide. All right. Well, that was a lot of goals but Kelly, what's Local Flavor up to this year? What are your goals?
I know, Reed, you said we weren't going to talk numbers, but like I am.
Go for it.
our financial goals, like I'm really happy with our AOV. Our AOV has been hovering like in the 800 to 850, which
that's great.
I'm good with that. Wow. Our margins, we've increased between 60 and 85%, depending on the shoot. I'm good with that. Our financial goal is hitting 7 figures this year. Like it's happening. So that's like our big goal. Business wise, Brian out of the field, me out of admin. We've realized that getting me out of admin is also advantageous because it takes the emotional side out of everything. Kind of an unexpected result of getting me out of admin has been just having to come up with these procedures, policies. Like I said, we've become friends with our clients. We might be on a boat with them on a Saturday. They might get us backstage passes to a concert. So when they call for a favor, they call for all things. I am absolutely going to do everything that I can because I am emotionally attached to them. Getting that off of me has been huge with just charging fair amounts, like getting what we're due for the edits. Just taking me out of it has been a really big deal that I did not anticipate. Just not from just Brian and I running the business, but just dealing with the client care in a different way. And it's forced us to have a process in place. So we've come up with a VIP program so that not everybody gets that whole like world on fire, change the whole schedule around for one person. It's like 20 clients get this from us and that's it. Because I used to do it for everybody because they've been with us forever. So Brian out of the field, me out of admin, and the financial goals are pretty much big picture what we're going for this year. And then just going back to the foundation, like I was talking about, we've cracked the foundation because we took everything on our shoulders and just ran, and didn't take a lot of time in just reestablishing our SOPs, our team, defining our roles, all those things. So that's what we're really focusing on right now, so that we can scale.
And that strikes me as something that's good for all of us to always look at, because our business just changes as we go, and we have different needs and different, and our goals shift. And so we need to, put different foundations down if we want to support these new goals that we have. And I mean, that's something that Mark and I have been doing over the slow season, is getting all those SOPs down. And, because as we realized that like our training was not up to snuff for our new people. And so it's like, well, that means we really have to go in and look at all our procedures. And then this has been a great opportunity to see, this doesn't work. Is there a better way to do it? So reevaluating all that is so, so helpful at any time. And then I just wanted to comment too. I love that, when you noted the admin and taking the emotional side out of it, I mean, I feel like that's always me too. I'm always like, oh yeah, but it's fine. Oh, for you, that's fine. We won't charge for that, and then, but then Chelsea, it's always, she's like, well, what should I charge for that? And I'm like, $75. And then she has the conversation. You have to say it. Yeah. So no, that is, I hadn't really thought of it that way, but that's really great. Alex, goals? You must have goals. You must. You conquer the world. I know. Okay, but below that, build an empire.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been just talking to real estate agents like crazy. We did have growth last year, but I think the market's not going to be drastically up. It's going to probably be about the same, a little bit of growth. So my goal is to grow, even though it's stable and not excelling. So I really want to grow in another region, get another mega team of some sort, so our numbers do go up and not just stay stagnant. I hate staying stagnant. And then under like my umbrella, I really just want to make sure that our studio space starts getting booked more. So we got to work on that. The consulting side for me has been going so well, so I want to work on that. And then just start delegating more tasks, I guess. Because like my plate is just, honestly, it just never stops being full. It is so annoying. So it's just like,
now you do the stupid podcast once a month. I mean, it's like,
this goddamn podcast. But no, it's just like, I feel like I do need to delegate a little bit more off my plate. And I think that's like, I can let go of control for everything so far. But now, like, these main tasks, like sales calls, doing like big giant quotes and stuff like that, I kind of want that off my plate now. So I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest. I'm just going to roll with it, whatever happens.
Do you have like someone on your team? I mean, do you have someone who's like more like in a, I don't even know what to call it, a general manager role for Northern Spruce? I mean, so you do. So you have theoretically have someone who could handle those big quotes and all that stuff and could just maybe run it by you?
Yeah, I mean, they try, but like it just feels like it's just getting more and more complicated. Like the job requests are like really big or they're really detailed, and it'll take me hours to like figure out a price for it.
Right.
And then
we just decline those jobs.
Those are the ones we want. Yeah, those are the ones we want. So it's just, I think it'll get there. I almost have to have like my office manager basically sitting in a room with me while I take all the calls, so she understands my language, the way I talk, and like how I come up with these things. So I start CCing her on like all my quotes and stuff and being like, this is how I did this, and, you know, giving them a full rundown. But I mean, I think that'll take time because it is a big responsibility being like, I think this is going to be right. And I hope nobody gets screwed over. But yeah. Yeah.
No, that's a big one to let go of. But you know, if you can find that perfect person and have them in place, I mean, I often fantasize about that. I was like, oh, could we find someone who could just like replace Mark and I, and just be, you know, be kind of the operations and kind of some of these bigger thoughts, and we could really just like, what, I guess not work, or I guess we would just, you know, really be high level. But it's like, you know, just to handle all of these kind of operational tasks. And yeah, even the quoting, it's like, it does feel like it needs to come from the owners. Cause like, you know, and I know, you know, and it's also kind of empowering employees. Cause I think sometimes even for us, like Chelsea, she's been with us 5 years now, there's still a lot of, well, how much should we charge for this? And like, I'm like, Chelsea, yeah, it's a, you know, you should know it's that, but she shouldn't know. She wants to make, because for her, if she makes a mistake and undercharges, she feels bad. Like, oh, I just screwed you guys out of $100 that you could have had, you know, whatever. Right. So
I think my problem was last year, I let some of my employees in on like the big budget jobs and understand like what the cost is. But like when that happened, they felt obligated for a bonus or overtime and I was like, huh? Like, no, like this is to like help us through the winter. Like this is not how business works. Like I get a big giant job and you still work your 40 hours, but the fact that the job is 8,000, not 800, you think you get a bonus. Like hell no. That's how it works. No, I'm giving you opportunity.
Oh yeah. Opportunity bucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those don't pay the rent, Alex. So,
yes, I know. Exactly. But that's it.
Okay. So then do you have a plan in place because I know that's something, you know, I've said and Jenn has said too about breaking into a new area, and that's kind of what you're doing. And I know all of us here kind of look up to you in business ways. It's like, how are you approaching breaking into a new area?
Maybe I don't know what your broker house thing that you guys are talking about are, but
well, so like it's like a broker opened a or we have what's called caravan. It's basically in a certain neighbor, not even like a city or a part of a city, or just within like the kind of association of realtors. They'll have like, for us, Ventura has their caravan on Thursday morning. So there's a meeting that all the agents go to, and they talk about some issues, and they say, and here's the list of all the new houses that are on the market. Then all the agents go and tour those houses so they can see the houses, know what's on the market. And then whoever is listing the house holds it open. They call it a broker open. And then they'll have like snacks and try to get everyone to come. And so it's just a way all the agents get to see all the houses that are new on the market. And so we've had success just going on the caravan, driving around and seeing the houses, visiting the houses we've shot. But really almost the best thing is for us to camp out at one where we shot, and we sponsor the snacks, and, you know, and then we get to sit there with our business cards and shake everyone's hand. And so it's a way to just to get FaceTime. So that's broker open / caravan.
Okay. Yeah. That's like an agent open house for us. That's what we would call that here. Yeah. But no, like I think a good thing for me is a lot of people, if they see me on social media or doing like a talk or a podcast or anything like that, they tend to just message me. And then when it comes to that, like I will just immediately offer like some sort of presentation or take them out for coffee and just do that, like make it really personal. And then I break it down the sales funnel. Okay, here's the video lead, here's the photo lead, whatever. But I do like doing like brokerage presentations. So if a brokerage wants me to come in and I'll educate all the agents on real estate media for 2026, let's say. So I'm booking some of those. So these are going to be people that technically don't know me, but then go in there and then wow them and then, get their business that way.
And so so basically you would just take that strategy and try to do those kind of presentations in this other, region that you're trying to break into.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And honestly, all I'm doing is I'm grabbing, I'll search like big agents in this area, top agents in this area. I'll grab their emails and then I'll just cold call email them and I'll give them like our media deck so they have something to like view and know that I'm like not spam.
Right. And then my other question is, how far away is this area from your home base?
Right now I just want to go like an hour. Hour and
so it's an hour. So, but it's like, so do you have people on the ground in that region that can service these shoots? Because here's one of the issues is like, if you don't have people there and it's an hour away, well, that's cutting into, that's a lot of time for your shooters to spend in the car. And so how are you approaching that? Is it kind of, you don't want to put the cart before the horse, but you also don't want to have to play catch up. So what's your strategy there?
So we do have part-timers in these areas. So it does make it easier for us. That way we don't also have to charge the client mileage and then I'm not getting huge mileage bills. Right. So right now I have part-timers there to make sure that like, okay, here's some hours, here's some houses, learn as much as you possibly can. And I tell them it's my job to now grow that area so I can make you full-time. Like that is my goal. And they trust me and they know I bust my ass. So they don't think I'm just always going to keep them at 5 hours a week. It's going to grow.
Right. So you do have like a small base of clients in this area already.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of like us, where we want to go is about an hour away and we have a few clients up there. And now we literally just hired someone, today was their first day and they're based up there. And so that's, I think that's an opportunity for us to have someone on the ground up there because it's like, there's been a part of us is like, I think there was a client there that we were talking to who was going to be like, 50 shoots a year. And we want to maybe move over to you guys. And then we're like, oh shit. And they do twilights every single shoot. And you're like, oh crap. That just means we have someone on our team has to be an hour away from where they live once a week doing twilights. And it's like, it's like, it's fine to do on occasion, but it's like, it's just brutal, and they were talking, it was 100, it was just so many listings. And it was like, oh my God, I don't even know that we want to do that. It's just it'd be such a drain on our staff resources, and we would have had to find someone up there. So that's something we always think about. It's like, hey, it's great. Let's get the business in this area. But then what happens if we actually get the business? Because we need to plan for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I always say start small, part-time, and have those expectations extremely clear for the part-timer that you hire. And that's it.
You all know that I don't like being serious, but I'm going to be serious for a minute here when I talk about Aereo. This podcast, it might exist, but it would not be where it is without our friends at Aereo. We've been using them for years, and they have been a supporter of this podcast from the very, very first day. I emailed Brannick back in the day when we were thinking about starting this, and I said, hey, we're going to start this podcast. Would you guys be interested in sponsoring? And they jumped at it and said, absolutely. And they have been our, up until this year, have been our presenting sponsor. And I just wanted to shout them out and say how much we have appreciated that relationship and how much we've appreciated their support and how we appreciate them as just a player in this industry. And I know things have changed with their ownership and everything else, but they've continued to I think have the best interest of real estate media professionals at heart and are always trying to do right by them and have an incredible product. So please go to Aereo.com to check them out. Use the code Upmarket and you're going to get 15 free bonus listings. I wish it was 25, but I got to tell you it's 15. So Aereo.com, use the code Upmarket for 15 free bonus listings. Thank you for everything, Aereo. We love you. clear up some confusion about the second floor app. Someone was recently telling me, is this only for floor plans of the second floor buildings? And I said, no, you can do multiple floors. You can do a first floor, you can do a second floor, you can do a third floor, even a fourth floor. You got a basement? Oh, you can do that too. Because guess what? You can make a second floor plan of, well, there's probably a limit to how big the space is or how many stories, but I've not seen it. So I implore you, check out if you want instant floor plans done, in just minutes and deliverable to your clients within seconds after you finish that floor plan. Please check out secondfloorapp.com. That's all spelled out, secondfloorapp.com/upmarket. You're going to get a free month of service. And, go to a skyscraper, see how many floors you can do with the second floor app. I think that's a great challenge. Tag me in your Instagram post about it and tag Second Floor App as well. Thank you. Check out secondfloorapp.com/upmarket. I think those are all great goals. So let's, we had this section now we want to do where, one of us has a problem. And I think Jenn already kind of spilled her problem that we were going to talk about, but that's okay.
Well, I have other problems. We can go over those too.
I know, Jenn, I know you have a litany of problems. But if you do think of one, we probably have time for one. But I know, Kelly, you are facing an issue that you wanted to talk about and get some advice on.
Yes. So we've got a lead videographer who is moving to Birmingham second quarter to live with his girlfriend. And so we are at a point where...
And that's not one in your service area?
It is not in our service area. It's 3 hours.
Okay, yeah.
Birmingham, Alabama, 3 hours from our service area. So he's gone. We tried to do to where everybody was happy. He did, a day or two over there. We did couple of meetings over there. We actually had a couple clients who used to be in Atlanta who are now in Birmingham. We had some ins there, met with them. Everything was great. And then we didn't have the availability because we still need him in Atlanta. He wanted to do kind of part-time here and there. And we tried it. It absolutely did not work because the Birmingham agents need what they need. The Atlanta agents need what they need. And he's a huge piece of our team. I mean, it's like, Alex and Jenn, I don't know the names on your team, but it's like a Nikki Schutz of local flavor, right? It's like
Nikki on our team. Yeah.
Kill me, so, people are used to working with him. We've really elevated our video because of him. Our clients are extremely comfortable with him miking them up, helping them with their lines, all the things. So we're challenged with, so we just said, hey, you need to go full in Atlanta or full in Birmingham because we can't do both. We tried it. And so he's going full on Birmingham. So we're tasked.
As an aside, then, are you going to continue a relationship with him in Birmingham and try to have a local flavor there and have him headed up? Or you are? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's the goal. That's the goal. That's we kind of offered that to him. He's sought after. Our competition has come for him. He's very good, and I mean, he's excellent. So, and we know that. So we're like, yes, we'll give this a go. We've got your back. We're going to start doing a lot of client acquisition out there for him, so that he can just hopefully get jobs. So we're kind of tasked with two things with this, obviously replacing him here, and then also expanding there, on top of all the other things that we as business owners are dealing with. So we're just kind of like, he's kind of our first big, oh my God, this is such a big team member to not lose, but in this market to lose him. So we've asked him to give us one, till second quarter so that we can find somebody. He can train them. We need to find the right person. And then we need to set him up for success in Birmingham. So we've done none of these things yet. That's what we're a little challenged with, because we're like, oh my God, it's almost February. We have got to figure this out. So I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts.
My God, get the job posting up now.
It's up.
I mean, that you're doing the right steps. It's just like, it's one step at a time, really. Yeah. And then it's just like, also read whoever the hire is, like, read how they are, like, immediately. If your gut tells you they're not going to work, go with your gut and don't waste your time.
Yeah. Hire slow, fire fast.
Yeah, exactly. So I would just suggest that, but like, you're doing the right steps already. So you're going to be good.
Well, and I think what you also, need to remember is you're not going to find him. And we, there's going to be no one like him. So you have to find someone who are their own person, but can do as good of a job as he does, but they're never going to be exactly how he was. Right. And so, we've had that too, obviously, where we're like, oh, what if Nikki quit? We would be so far up shit creek. Right. And, and we just had it like just 3 days ago, Marco, our other, main shooter quit. And that's and for us, our staff is not that big. And that was just on the heels of our third shooter who was more part-time quitting. So we were down, we have 3 shooters and now we're down to 1 plus Mark. But Marco is fantastic, but he's also not as his personality is not Nikki, and he's not comfortable doing all the social media stuff. And so Nikki is a much more present person in our marketing, in our because she's has that big personality, and Marco is a little more understated and does a fantastic job. People love him, but it's I think him leaving presents a lot of challenges, but they're different challenges than if Nikki left. And so, but we also, as we've been interviewing people recently, I mean, Mark is always like, oh, I just want to find another Nikki. I just want to find another Nikki. And I'm like, yeah, Nikki's a unicorn. We're not going to find another Nikki. Even if we find someone great, they're just not like Nikki. So, I think kind of disavowing ourselves of having that mindset of like actual, like a 1-for-1 replacement, I think helps in that then we can see whatever candidate is coming in for who they are and not, up against this person who they're never going to live up to no matter what anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, would y'all suggest having him, like, we want to interview them obviously and get a feel, but like, as far as the skill set goes, I mean, we need a feel for their personality first, make sure they're going to take care of our clients, but like his skill set is actually so good. We've had him spend time with everybody on the team, and they'll improve a little bit, but it's still not him, not even like close. So like our thought was to have them really spend a lot of time with him and get a lot of feedback from him, especially because he's still bought in. He's still going to be part of our company in a new city. It's not like he's just out.
Right.
So our thought was to have him like really give us honest feedback on, hey, do you think they're going to be able to do this? Do y'all agree with that? Because he's better than, like, Brian shot video for a long time. He is so far beyond our skill set at this point that it's like, we don't want to judge their video skill set because he is just that much better than us at this point.
It sounds like the thing that he has is care. He has a lot of care for your business and for your clients. So like, that's the thing is, I have like, my guy, it would be Felipe. Felipe cares. Like he cares so much. And then he'll train people and he'll train people and he'll train people. But the thing they lack is the care. It's not that they're bad shooters, but they just don't care the way he does. So it's never going to be the same. And it's like, yeah, it's the unicorn, right? So you can find someone similar, but you never will find the exact. So it's just like the attitude and the care are like the 2 most important things.
Yeah,
he actually doesn't know how he gets the shot, like, because he's actually kind of terrible about details, like as far as showing up on time and things like that. We get upset with him, and then we see the video, and we're like, oh my God, like nobody else could have done it. How did you think to get that shot? And we've had him, like I said, work with our team, and he is so naturally gifted that I don't know that he can replicate. He doesn't even know why or how he thinks to do the things that he does,
Right.
And he's so good. So he does care about our clients, but the soft skills are definitely lacking, and there's reasons behind that. But we forgive him because he's so gifted and talented. And
the thing is, the other thing I would keep in mind is I don't know that your clients will notice as much as you think they will.
Yeah,
because that's fair. The thing about it is we've said for so long is that actually clients don't really notice the quality. I mean, they do. It gets to, it just needs to be here. And it's harder for them to notice when it just gets there, when it's just like a 10% bump in quality. So if you can get someone who can, approximate what the guy does, no one's going to, I'm not going to say no one's going to notice, but in video, I think it's, the skills can be a little more apparent, but as long as like there's some flashy editing or there's whatever, and you have the fun music, it's like the clients aren't going to maybe realize as as much as you think they will.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yeah.
It's just that's been our experience across the board. Is by the time they get it, they just need to get it on the MLS, because my client's pressuring me, and then I mean, I don't know, I echo it. I think you're doing the right thing. And just give whoever you hire a lot of runway, and go on gut, and then I mean, we're just in that same moment where in trying to replace Marco, and we're meeting a few people, and we've had some good candidates come in. In fact, we had like the job listing out for like days, and we got literally no resumes. And usually if you put it up on Indeed, you're just getting people who just apply to everything. And you're like, well, there's no relevance here. We weren't even getting those. And then all of a sudden we got like 4 or 5 resumes that actually had relevant experience, or, these guys are great. And so we brought everyone in, and like one guy was just like so beyond perfect. It was like, great, we got to hire this guy. And then, our other people are like, well, they're great, but maybe they don't have the personality that we're looking for. And you just don't. And it's hard, especially when you're not getting a ton of candidates, to be like, well, I think it could work with this person. And then you have to kind of hire that person because your hands are tied. So and you're going to get to that point too, where you're just going to have to hire somebody. Yeah. Or else Brian's going to have to bring the camera out of retirement and like get out there and do shitty video.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we can't let that happen. So, no, we've got some candidates. We're talking to a couple of people this week, and it's just we're at a point where we're hiring more we had been for photography, hiring more for personality, finding people who have been in, hospitality and things like that. That's worked really well for us. But then the video skill is just totally different. So we're just trying to figure out who the best fit is going to be. So I'm hopeful that time on site with him will kind of like answer that. Even if we like their personality, if he gets them on site, is like, hey, they can't take direction, they're not getting it, getting feedback from him. Like, do y'all do that? Like, would you recommend relying heavily on his opinion of these candidates?
Maybe.
I would a little bit.
Yeah, it just depends. Like, if he's that person though, who's like super technical video guy and is like, is really a stickler about video quality, he'll be like, well, no, they can't do it like me. I mean, I don't know his personality. So I think you just have to make sure that you have to understand the criteria that he's looking at these applicants under, right? So so when he's given an opinion, just kind of know where he's coming from, I guess would be the advice on that. And because, and it's your guys' gut, because you're the ones who are going to have to work with them on a day-to-day basis as well.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think, the other thing that just popped into my mind too, is maybe another thing to consider is making your video process easier so that you can have someone who is not as skillful do it. I mean, the more you can kind of do that, I mean, and not dumbing down your videos so much that they're crappy, but hey, is there a way that we could, approximate this other thing we're doing, but we could use iPhones to shoot it instead, or, whatever that is. And for us, we did the workflow of where we switched to shooting with phones, and that makes it a lot easier to just hire a new videographer because everyone's familiar with their iPhone. And so it's really about teaching the concepts rather than a lot of these technical things that you have to do when you're shooting on a, DSLR.
Yeah, and we've got hybrid shooters, that do our social media videos and those mid-level that everybody orders. He's our guy for that we sell for the lifestyle stuff. So right. It's just a little more complicated. Yeah, we've got 2-3 others that can do just the generic, phone stuff. But he's our guy for the big stuff that's fun and just a little more to it with him. But we'll get there.
All right. Well, okay.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, no worries. Anyone else have any other little problem? We have a few minutes here, or we can wrap it up if anyone has another little problem that they needed some advice on. Alex has no problems.
I have so many. It's just it's delegating. That's my only problem. And it's just something I have to figure out.
Yeah. Just do it. Just, Alex, just let go. Just try to let go. Yeah, that's so hard. All right. Well, I think then that'll do it. So thank you everyone for being here and sharing. I think I learned a lot. So hopefully our listeners, viewers did too. Thank you, of course, to all of you. Thank you, of course, to our sponsors. Molly, thank you for producing. You did a nice job. You gave me some thumbs up along the way. So I feel really good. And that's ultimately what this podcast is about. And so thank you, of course, to everyone listening and watching. We really obviously appreciate you all so much. So, all right. Well, we'll talk to you all again in a month. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody. Upmarket is a production of Upmarket Studios and is produced by Molly Peart and edited by Bethany Dietrich. Our wish for you this week is to not have to do any Friday Night Twilight shoots. Thank you for everything.